All right, review of parallel and perpendicular line slopes. If two lines are parallel in a coordinate plane, then their slopes are. So remember, parallel lines, they have equal slopes. All right, or you might, in non-math terms, you might say same. If two lines are perpendicular in a coordinate plane, then their slopes are opposite. Here, let me pick a different color for this. Reciprocals. And what does that mean? That means you're going to change sign and flip the numbers. And that's for perpendicular. Okay? So number 5, y equals negative 4x plus 5 and y equals 1/4 x minus 3r. So again, in this problem right here, we just want to tell by looking at the slopes. What's the slope here? What's the slope here? Well, this slope is just negative 4. It's not negative 4x. Kind of highlighted too much right there. All right, and the slope right here is 1/4. All right, don't include the x in your slope. Students like to try to do that. Don't. It's the number in front of x. All right, and notice how the sign changed. Furthermore, it's like negative 4 over 1. We don't write over 1 because technically every number is over 1. So the numbers did flip as well. So numbers flipped. So what's it going to be? It's going to be perpendicular. All right. Now for number B, we need to use the graph on the right. So it says y equals 2x plus 1 and the graph on the right are. Well, let's figure out what the graph on the right is. Let's figure out this slope. This is a point. This is negative 2, 0. And this is a point. This is 0, 1. All right. So let's just quickly count this slope. I'm going up 1 over 2. All right. So my slope is rise over run. So it's up 1 over 2. So 1/2. Okay. So it says y equals 2x plus 1 and the graph on the right are, well, oh no, they are neither. Okay. How? 2 over 1 and 1/2. Sign didn't change. Alright, so you might have thought perpendicular just because we had 2 and 1/2, but one of them would have had to be negative. So just to emphasize it further, we have 1 and then a slope of 2. Alright, and that's what those lines look like. They intersect, but they're neither parallel or perpendicular. And then kind of emphasizing what I was just talking about even more, we don't even have to graph this bad boy right here, but this is negative 2, technically over 1, and then the graph of slope of 1/2 on the slope of 1/2 on the graph that we're given. So it's perpendicular. Similar reasons in A. All right, the sign changed and we flipped the numbers. Cool. All right, which of the following slopes are perpendicular to each other? So let's do this. Let's write sign changed, numbers flipped, and above that, it's supposed to be opposite reciprocal. That's the math way. That says reciprocal, kind of sloppy handwriting. Opposite reciprocal means sign change, numbers flipped. All right. So let's see. In this first one, the signs don't change, so we already know that they're not perpendicular, so it's out. This one, the sign changed. Did the numbers flip? Actually, let's take a closer investigation. That's 1 over 1. That's negative 1 over 1. So yes, the numbers did flip. Just kind of hard to recognize since they're both 1 over 1. So check. So that one meets the qualification of perpendicular. Negative 2 over 3, 3 over negative 2. So did the sign change? No. So it's just B. B's the only one. Alright. Although numbers did flip in these other two, they didn't meet all the qualifications. Only B did. Okay? Let's go ahead and just knock the rest of these notes out. Which of the following slopes is perpendicular to the line graphed below? Alright. So let's go ahead and try to figure out this slope of the line given. That's negative 3, 0. That is 0, 6. So let's see, I'm going to go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 1, 2, 3. So I went up 6 over 3. So this has a slope of 2. Right now, if you listen closely, you might hear my golden doodle drinking some water. If not, he's drinking water right now if you're wondering what my golden doodle's doing. Anyways, so which of the following? Well, the perpendicular slope to that will be a negative number, and then it's 1/2. Why is it 1/2? Remember, over 2, or slope of 2 was 2 over 1. So it's going to be, let me see, D. It's going to be D. And even to emphasize that, from this point given right here, let's go ahead and go down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. All right? And then we do our best to draw a line that goes through it, and bada boom, there's a perpendicular line right there. All right? Number 8. What is the equation of line parallel to the line below that passes through the given point? Okay? So, what we got going here is, let's think about some things. We got 0, negative 4. And then 5, 0. So I stole this problem from the iBook. Let's look at some things. All right, so what's the rise over run? Okay, I think there's a small typo in this problem, all right? Because it needs parallel. Let's change this line just a tad, because this isn't going to work, all right? Whoever made this problem messed up. I assumed when I took this problem from the iBook it'd be a good problem, but it probably should look something more like this. All right, let's use this graph here. All right, why? It's going to make everything tremendously easier when we count our rise, our run. We get a rise of 4, a run of 4. So if the slope is 4 over 4, it's 1. So we need a parallel slope to 1. All right? Because remember, parallel slopes are equal. So the slope in this one is negative 1, out. The slope in this one is negative 1, out. The slope in this one is 1. Ding, ding, ding. This is the winner. All right. Even to further emphasize how that's the winner is if you go through this point here, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. All right. We see that we get a slope of 1, and our y-intercept, let me rewrite it down here, our y-intercept be equals 6. Alright, so that's how that one works out. Alright, and then given the graphs below, draw a line perpendicular and parallel to the segments RS and passes through A. So when we do this, I want you guys to count entire slope, then simplify. What do I mean by that? Like, does it cross here? I'm not sure if it's really crossing here. Does it cross here? It looks like it. But the only thing I can be really certain with these labeled points is that R and S are points. It crosses perfectly through those. Alright, so I'm going to count that entire slope. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the given slope, so the slope of RS is 9 over 6, or 3 over 2. Alright, so my parallel slope is 3 over 2. My perpendicular slope is 3 over 2. Or excuse me, had a brain fart. Negative 2 over 3. Alright, so what I'm going to do for my parallel line, we'll do my parallel one in pink, is just from A, go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 2. I'm even going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 2. Alright, boom. And then a perpendicular slope through point A. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. And there we go right there. And this kind of looks like the parallel lines cut by a transversal. Pretty cool. And then last problem of the notes. Alright, same thing, we're going to count the entire slope. So now I'm going down and over. Down 3. Over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so this one has a slope of RS, is 3 over 9, which reduces to 1/3. So my parallel slope, let me pick a different color. Would be 1/3. My perpendicular, so let's just do that. Up 1, so from A, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. Hold on, timeout. Brain fart really fast. That should have been negative. That should have been negative. Okay, hopefully you guys caught my mistake. Since this slope is nice negative, nice negative, nice negative. Alright, so it's down 1 over 3. Alright, and then just make a line that goes through those 2 points. And there we go right there. And then perpendicular slope would be positive 3 over 1, or we just say 3. So from point A, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1. And there we go. All right, some parallel lines, some perpendicular lines. That's what this unit is called, is parallel and perpendicular lines, and it's kind of fitting the last problem we're doing in the last lesson is a bunch of parallel and perpendicular lines. All right, see how it works. See why I did that on purpose. Pretty cool. All right, have a good rest of your day.